I'm gonna be cooking up my mama's mouth-watering short rib. I'm relying on an old standard that my mama used to make, and everybody just adored her short ribs. And I'm gonna take my short ribs and I'm gonna toss them in house seasoning and seasoning salt. I want them to be big on flavor. The house seasoning, which is a cup of salt, a fourth of a cup of black pepper, a fourth of a cup of garlic powder. Now I'm just going to toss this into the flour, and I'm going to put in a couple of tablespoons of oil in my cast iron Dutch oven, and I'm going to sear this off, and I'm not like going to dredge this too much in flour, just enough to give it a little coat. And we're going to brown these off. Now I remember Mama cooking them in the oven, so that's the way I'm going to do mine today. And I especially like that way because you don't have to add as much liquid to it because it's not sitting over a direct flame, so you don't have to worry about it burning, putting enough liquid in so that it won't burn. So I really like the oven method. And while that's browning, okay, I'm just going to give this garlic a few whacks, just enough to bust it up and let the flavors come out of it. So I'm going to pour some beef consomme or either beef broth, whichever you choose to use. I'm going to pour a little bit of that over the ribs. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water. And I don't want to cook these like drenched. I don't want to drown them. I want that natural broth to come out of those ribs, and I want them to kind of cook down and be like in a natural gravy. Okay, now our ribs are boiling. All right, so I'm just going to take them out and transfer them to the casserole dish. Ooh, they're smelling so good. And these are going to cook down. The longer they cook, the more they're going to shrink up on us. All right. Now I'm going to take my fresh garlic. I'm just going to toss that around on top of my meat. I'm going to put me a few plugs of onion in there for the flavor. And I'm going to ladle this wonderful broth over them. I'm going to bake these at 350 for probably a couple of hours. So that's how easy short ribs are. Now I'm going to just put this in the oven, and like I said, I'm going to cook it for about 2 hours. It should be good and succulent and tender by then. In fact, I have some ready here, and let's just find out how good and succulent and tender. Look at them. All right, and I got some rice back here ready. Look at that beautiful rice. And it's just the way I like it. It's steaming. And I promised y'all hot buttered rice. So I'm going to just put a little pat of butter. That butter just does something to that rice. Okay. Look at that. Ooh. You can see the way that meat has kind of shrunk down, and look how tender. All right. And I want to get in there, and you can see how beautifully thick and rich this natural juices have turned into. I just want to ladle some of that over my rice. Look at that. Mama rocks.
Now try the ribs. Y'all try the short rib.
Oh, that's not any good. Spit that out.
It me most dish good.
Reel it in, baby. Reel it in. What?
I love it.
Delicious.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.